Hello, thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. My name is Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker with affordable homes and apartments. And for information on my real estate books and services, you can go to affordablehomesandapartments.net. And for information on my religious books and services, you can go to highwaytoheavenchurch.org. And I want to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. Today I want to talk to you some more about my book, Helpful Homeowners Facing the Loss of Your Home. And this book talks to homeowners who are facing foreclosure, who have been foreclosed upon, or who are being foreclosed upon. It gives you the steps that you need to take to try to save your home from foreclosure, and what to look for in terms of somebody who's not legitimate. Now today I would like to talk to you about some of the loan modification scams that are going on and predatory lending. Okay, now last week we talked about the foreclosure settlement that was back in 2012. I don't know if the bank has actually sent you a check yet or not, but as a result of the foreclosure settlement, homeowners have been promised some actual hard money. And this is for homeowners who have faced foreclosure, who have already lost their homes, and some of them who are still in their homes and are dealing with foreclosure. The banks have also agreed to refinance a lot of mortgages at historically low interest rates so that the mortgages can be made more affordable. Now myself, Affordable Homes and Apartments, as well as other organizations and officials, are fighting hard to help continue to offer homeownership as a dream instead of as a nightmare. You know, because as a real estate broker, I get my money from commissions. Some of my money comes from commissions, and we sell other people's houses and we rent other people's apartments. And how is it going to look for me to try to sell you a house when your sister, your neighbor, or somebody that you know or heard of on the news has just gotten foreclosed upon by illegitimate actions? Now the bank that you're dealing with is committing fraud against you by hiring robo-scammers, and that's where you got your money in there. They're offering 2% interest rates, and now you're wondering if my money is even safe in the bank that I hold, in that bank. I mean, if you're going to try to scam me out of my home, what's to say you're going to try to scam me out of my money too, So, thank you for joining me today. You can visit my YouTube address at sblack3001. And you can visit, these videos will also be available there. You can again visit my real estate website at affordablehomesandapartments.net. That's the new website. It used to be affordablehomesandapartments.com, and now it's affordablehomesandapartments.net. And I want to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. And my name is Dr. Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker. Thank you for joining me. Holla at a sister. Okay, now these are some of the things that we're going to talk about today. Loan modification scams, how to be aware of them, and predatory lending. And again, thank you for joining me today. Now, as I said before, for most families, owning a home is hopefully one of the most significant investments, and for some, the only significant investment you will make in your lifetime. A lot of us don't have the money to pay cash for a house, and that's why we end up getting a mortgage. Okay? The documents that you have at the settlement, which is the closing, which you get when you get your keys, a lot of times it's so confusing to the homeowner, and we as homeowners don't know how to ask our lawyers, would you please explain that document to me before I sign it? Or they want to just sign it by now, and they just want you to sign it so you can get your paperwork, but you got so much paperwork in front of you. I want to know, what is it that I'm signing? Can you just explain it to me? Can you let me know a little bit about what I'm signing here, so I know I'm not signing my head off, Okay, now this book talks Helpful Homeowners Facing the Loss of Your Home, is a compilation of information from various resources. Okay, now beware of predatory lending schemes. Okay, now most mortgage lenders are reputable and provide a valuable service by allowing families to own a home without saving the thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars necessary to buy the home outright. Okay. However, a few unscrupulous lenders, especially those who make high-risk second mortgages, engage in predatory lending practices that can increase the likelihood that a borrower, you or me, will lose his or her home into foreclosure. Now, these abusive practices include making a mortgage loan to an individual who does not have the money to repay, and knowingly they don't have the money to repay, or charging excessive interest rates, or points and or fees. Okay, points is what the mortgage company makes, like real estate brokers make commission. Banks make points. That's what they put in their pocket for processing the mortgage. And fees. Okay. And or repeatedly refinancing a loan without providing any real value to the borrower. Now, the only way that a bank can refinance a loan is if you sign for that refinance. Now, in some cases, you might get a letter in the mail that says, now, Bank X owned your home when you first bought it. Now, Bank ABC owns your home. What they've just really merely done was just sell the mortgage to them. It shouldn't change the interest rate. It shouldn't change anything about the loan itself. It just means that now somebody else is collecting the money. Okay? If this new bank asks you to sign something, you need to get your lawyer and find out what's going on. Because first of all, I didn't ask you to take my mortgage. So why should I have to sign anything? Okay? Now, borrowers that are facing unemployment and or foreclosure are frequent targets of predatory lenders because they are desperate to find any solution to your default. Okay, homeowners frequently receive refinance offers in the mail telling them that they have been pre-approved for credit based on the equity in your home. Now, when you are wondering how are you going to pay your mortgage and other bills, it may appear very attractive to you, the borrower, to borrow against your house. But consider this: if you can't make your current payments, increasing your debt will even cause even more problems. Right? And you have to remember, this is money you're going to have to pay back. You know, and you could be signing your house away, so you really got to be careful about these documents that you sign. Now, beware of scams. These are some of the 4 major scams that I'm going to talk about right now. Equity skimming. Okay? Equity skimming is when a buyer offers to repay the mortgage or sell the property if you sign over the deed and move out. Why would I want to sign the deed and move out? I'm trying to save my home from foreclosure. Number 2, phony counseling agencies. Now, phony counseling agencies offer counseling for a fee when it's mostly given at free of charge. Now, counseling agencies are usually registered. They're really government authorized counseling agencies. Okay, that means that they've been approved by certain government agencies to offer these counseling, and they're being funded by the government to offer them. And if they are, they would have a certificate or something hanging on the wall so that you would know that they're actual legitimate counseling agencies. And you shouldn't have to pay a dime. But still be careful about the information that you're signing over to them, because you're providing them with an array of information, and you want to make sure that they can provide the service to you that you want and need prior to you going to them. You know what I mean? And even legitimate counseling agencies can provide you with information, and that is not correct. Now, number 3, do not sign anything that you do not understand, as I just said. It's your right and duty to ask questions and to be able to look over these documents. Okay, number 4, information is your best defense against becoming a victim of predatory lending, especially for a desperate homeowner yourself. Okay, now I have in here where to report suspected predatory lending. Okay, and I'll give you the phone number and the website right in my book. Okay, now the 10 warning signs of predatory lending. What are they? Okay, now the questions below is a good way for you to know if someone could be misleading you about a loan and or its costs. Just because the answer is yes to these questions does not mean that you are or have been a victim of predatory lending. But if you answer yes to some of the questions, we recommend that you contact the appropriate state agency, okay, by clicking on the link provided in this book, okay, available on lulu.com or affordablehomesandapartments.net. Now, number 1, were you encouraged to include false or fictitious information on your loan application? Okay. Number 2, is your loan amount on the loan, is the loan amount on the loan you obtained higher than the value of the home? In other words, the home is only worth $80,000 and you got a loan for $100,000. Okay. There are certain loans that you can get, but I think that's in a refinance. I'm not sure. I'm not a mortgage lender, but I do believe they have mortgages for 125% of the loan, but it's for a refinance only, not for a purchase. Okay? Now, number 3, were you asked to leave signature lines blank on any of the documents? Okay? Did the lender or broker alter any information you entered on the loan application? Okay? Did you incur any unexpected costs at settlement that were not explained to you prior to the settlement? Settlement is when you're at the table with the lawyer and the broker and the seller, and you're ready to get the keys to your house. Now, number 5, check out your loan file. Okay, you should have all 4 of these items: a good faith estimate, a special information booklet, a truth in lending statement, and a HUD-1 settlement statement. Okay. Now, number 6, after the settlement, were you surprised to find that the monthly payments on your mortgage loan were higher than the anticipated based on the initial disclosures? Number 7, have you refinanced your loan several times and in each instance increased either your monthly payment and or the total amount you owe on the home? But the purpose of refinancing is to get a lower interest rate so you can pay less, so it'll be more affordable. You don't have to refinance, however. When you go to the bank and you ask them, Mr. Banker, I'd like to refinance my mortgage, and then they give you a whole bunch of papers to sign. How much is my interest going to be? How much is my monthly payment going to be? Does that include taxes and insurance? Because we find that we have a lot of people complaining about their payments that they have. They say, okay, well, we was told that we were only going to be paying $500 a month, but when we get a bill, it's $650, $750. What's this extra money that we're paying? Well, ma'am, sir, you have to keep in mind that you're also paying for taxes and insurance. These are required on a home. The bank, you must maintain insurance on the home, and you must pay the taxes. If you do not, see, the banks are not going to maintain second position. In other words, if you don't pay your taxes, the city can take your home away for tax foreclosure, and you'll still have a mortgage on the house. But the bank is not going to take second position. So the bank is going to pay the taxes. So if you will not foreclose on tax, because then the bank won't get paid. Okay, you must maintain insurance on the home. If you don't maintain insurance on the home, then the home is not protected. That's like when you buy a car, you must have full coverage on the car as long as you have a payment. If there anything happens to that car, that finance company wants to make sure that they get their money back. Keep in mind, people don't loan you money for a house or a car because you're a nice person, because you're a hard-working individual or family, because you're a Christian. People don't loan you money for that reason, or not even because you have good credit. They loan you money to make money off of you. Okay, that is what banks are in the business of doing. And as I said before, a $100,000 mortgage, you'll end up paying over a 30-year period of time close to $500,000 for that mortgage. I would say anywhere from $300,000 and up. You are paying, Mr. Banker, you're paying, first 7 years, you're paying nothing but interest. Unless you double up on your payments and you specify to the bank, this extra money is going towards the principal. Okay? Alright, help for homeowners facing the loss of your home. Available on affordablehomesandapartments.net. Okay? Now, number 8, if you have a balloon loan, in which this is when after 5 years or so, then the whole thing is due. Balloon, that's what that means. Okay, will you need to obtain another loan to refinance that lump sum payment? Number 9, do your documents reveal that your interest rate calculation will change to require you to pay daily interest, instances when your payments are late? And number 10, were you required to buy credit insurance, which is insurance that will repay the debt if you die and become disabled? And please note that credit insurance is optional and will not affect the loan in question. If you decline to buy it, however, you can decline to buy it. If you do not decline and you do get a credit insurance, it can, however, add considerable cost to the loan transaction. In other words, you could be paying a higher monthly fee because of the credit insurance. Okay. Now you should decide whether you're going to purchase credit insurance carefully or not. Okay, the homeowner insurance pretty much almost does very similar. It protects the home from damage. And then these are other questions that we can discuss at some other time. Okay, now please look at these questions carefully. Okay, now predatory lending. What is predatory lending? Okay, if you suspect predatory lending, please, there's a phone number in this book and a website that you can contact. Now, over the last several years, our nation has made enormous progress in expanding access to capital for previously undeserved borrowers. But also now homeownership is becoming a nightmare because of unscrupulous lenders and robo-scammers that are on the loose. Despite this progress, however, too many families are suffering today because of growing incidents of abusive practices in the segment of the mortgage lending market. Predatory lending practices strip borrowers of home equity and threaten families with foreclosure, destabilizing the very communities that are beginning to enjoy the fruits of our nation's economic success. Okay? Don't be a victim of loan fraud. Okay? Protect yourself from predatory lendings. Buying and refinancing a home may be one of the most important and complex financial decisions that you will ever make. And many lenders, appraisers, and real estate professionals stand ready to help you get a nice home with a great loan. However, you need to understand the home buying process in order to be an educated consumer, and that's what we here at Affordable Homes and Apartments is here to do. Okay, now it's very important to you to be educated, and we're going to try to do that as much as we can. Now, what is predatory lending? In communities across America, people are losing their homes and their investments because of predatory lenders, appraisals, mortgage brokers, and home improvement contractors who, as I mentioned, there was a lot of the things, sell homes for much more than they're worth, falsify documents, encourage borrowers to lie, knowingly charge more to them than they know that the house is worth, pressure borrowers to accept high-risk loans, target vulnerable home buyers. I mean, you're on unemployment or you're getting disability, you know good well you can't afford this home unless you're taking advantage of one of the state programs. Use high-pressure sales tactics and what have you. Okay? You know, these are things, you know, if somebody comes knocking on your door, did I call you? You know, did I ask for you to come to my house? No. I'm not ready for you to talk to you. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm a desperate homeowner. I need help, but I'm not ready to talk to you now. I'll find a way. You know what I mean? So, now, loan modification scam alert. And we're talking about my book, Help for Homeowners Facing the Loss of Your Home, and it's available on AffordableHomesAndApartments.net. Okay, when a homeowner is facing foreclosure, you are at one of the most vulnerable moments in your life. Okay, you need money and you need it fast. You're at your wit's end and you don't know what to do, which way to turn, or who to trust. Okay, you're probably getting letters by the tons, and as I said before, your information is made a matter of public knowledge. People buy lists. They get the lists and they criterize it. You know, borrowers who are facing foreclosure, who are 4 months behind in their mortgage. Buyers who own, people who own homes, people who make $40,000 a year. You know, I mean, this information is made about your name, your phone number. You know, all of this is made a matter of public knowledge. You know, I don't even know if anything is private these days. You know, so when somebody comes knocking on your door, it's not that they don't know who you are. They know exactly who you are. They know your financial situation. They know how much money you make. They know where you work at. They know how long you've been there. They know your phone number. They know how much you paid on your mortgage, what your interest rate is. You know, the only thing they probably don't know is what you have for breakfast. You know, and they might have a way of finding that out. Okay? Now, loan modifications are changing every day. Okay? It's definitely, you know, like I said, to be educated. And I'm so glad that you tuned into my broadcast, Real Estate, Religion, and You, because me, Sylvia Black here, licensed real estate broker of Affordable Homes and Apartments, is going to try to do everything that I can to try to help educate you. And we will be announcing when we're going to have the workshop so that you can actually come and visit us live. But in the meantime, you can view the websites on my YouTube address at sblack3001, or you can go to my website at AffordableHomesAndApartments.net to view the workshops and the seminars and any other information and the books that are available and what have you. Okay? Now, like I said, loan modification scam alert, one wrong decision. Okay, you signed the wrong document, you know, and you could lose your home forever by falling victim of a loan modification scam. Now, common loan modification scams, okay? And again, like I said, loan modifications are changing, scams are changing every day. Somebody's coming up with a new scam, a new kind of way, and now we got the internet. So you got people that are, you know, when you actually put your personal information in that computer, don't put your personal information in there. You know, like I said, they already have it available, so why do they need you to put it in there? They want your name, your address, your phone number, your social security number, your date of birth. Why? So that they, what do they call it? When they try to imitate you and take over your identity and whatnot, you know. Come on now, people, we need to be protected as much as possible. You know, and a lot of times, you know, I'm wondering if money in the bank is even safe anymore. Okay, now, loan modification, okay, phony counseling and foreclosure rescue scams. Now, have you had somebody come to you as a scam artist posing as a counselor and tell you that they can negotiate a deal with your lender to modify your loan and save your house if you pay him a fee first or her? The fee may be called a processing fee or an administrative fee. He or she may tell you not to contact your lender, lawyer, or housing counselor, that he or she will make all the details and decisions for you, handle all the details. They may even insist that you make all your mortgage payments directly to that individual while they negotiate with the lender for you. Once you pay the fee or a few mortgage payments, the scammer disappears with your money. Okay, by that time you're probably in foreclosure and it may be too late. You done already paid your money to them. Where you gonna get the rest of the money now to pay your legitimate banker the money that they owe? Again, like I said before in last week's broadcast, look closely at your foreclosure documents and you know that signature that is on there. Because just because, like I said last week, that foreclosure settlement, it may fail to force mortgage companies to improve their tactics, okay? And I know it's not going to happen overnight. We know that already. You know what I mean? And I know for sure that is big business, baby. You know. So do you think that it's something that they're going to stop? We're making more money off of this scam. I mean, now I got to actually do business legitimately. You know, you're going to be making pennies compared to what you was making before. And if they got away with it for all of that long period of time, who's to say they're not going to continue to get away with it after all? They've already been caught. And a settlement has already been made, so who would suspect that they're going to turn around and hire some more robo-scammers to forge some documents to illegitimately say and maliciously say that you are in foreclosure, take you to court legitimately, and then sue you, take your home under illegitimate practices and laws? I mean, can you imagine? I mean, does this mean that the judge would lose his job now because he now agreed with the decision that was illegitimate? Can that decision now be reversed? Because it was an improper decision in the first place. Can I get my home back? You know, after they foreclosed upon me and they used malicious and falsifying documents to take my home in the first place, and the judge pronounced foreclosure will proceed, and now you got my home. Somebody else is living in my home. Can I get my home back? Can I now sue you for the value of my home and get, you know, my home was worth $100,000. I only owed $50,000. You foreclosed upon me for $50,000. Can I now recover $50,000 of damages? Can I sue you for your illegal practices? They've already been sued by the government. But now does that mean that I also have relief? $1,500, what's that going to do? I want to be able to sue you and get all of my money back. That's the only way that I'm going to really be